Hey guys, Tori here for Overlook Horizon. I don't know what happened with that intro video. For some reason it started at like the end of the intro video and looped around. I don't know what happened there, but we're here. We're live. We're here on a Thursday night. We got a night launch here for ULAs, United Launch Alliances. They're going to put up the Atlas V rocket tonight, and we should see, hopefully everything's looking good for launch tonight. Last I checked, they had a 90% chance of launch in terms of weather and conditions. You know, who knows if anything goes wrong. But we're looking pretty good for launch tonight, so I'm kind of excited about this. So this is not something that that I normally do, which I'm still kind of feeling the waters here and testing it out, but it's something that I want to do, you know, because I love watching the rocket launches and things like that. And I figured, well, hey, if I'm going to watch one of these rocket launches anyways, might as well get it out, get it live. We'll do some Q&A if anybody's got questions on it. I may not know all the answers, but I'll try to get you some answers. We can have a discussion about it, watch along with the launch, see if anything goes wrong, see if anything happens, and just have a discussion about it. I've got a couple things that I want to poke around and show as part of the as we're waiting for the launch to count down here. So I do have you know, we're gonna have up on the screen, I'm probably not gonna leave it up there the entire time until we actually get started, but I do have let's see, which shoulder is that? This shoulder. That's the live broadcast from United Launch Alliance, ULA, for this flight. So that should be coming online here in about, it says they're counting down from about 2 minutes and 40 seconds here. They'll be coming online with their live broadcast. So we'll have their broadcast going. You'll be able to hear their stuff that they're putting out. We'll talk about it. We'll comment on it. We're going to watch it together. We'll see. We'll learn. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. So anyways, if you're getting this, let's see, I don't have my YouTube comments up, so let's see, is it launching? I heard hardware issues. Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear hardware issues. This is from YouTube. They said, last I heard, that it looked like it was good to go. It could be a short broadcast if there's hardware issues. I checked just a few minutes ago, and I didn't hear of any hardware issues, but well, now I'm worried. Let's see. Let me go take a look and see. Maybe it's got canceled. Oh, yeah, well, I guess it's going to be a short broadcast. So I'm learning this for the first time here. I guess I should have checked it right before I went live, but I got everything up and running, and then I never went back and checked again. So it sounds like, sad note, it looks like the launch is scrubbed. No rescheduled time. So this is coming from the Twitter machine. Looked like they scrubbed it. This was 2 minutes ago that somebody just posted this up there. So they do have confirmed the plane as a 24-hour scrub turnaround. So I was really hoping they weren't going to scrub this, because it just happened to work out perfectly that I was going to be able to do this live broadcast tonight, and I won't be able to do it tomorrow. So unfortunately, I guess our live broadcast is going to get scrubbed. But we won't end it quite yet, because I guess we'll talk about the launch and what we were going to talk about here for the next 20 minutes. And I don't know if they're going to come online with this broadcast here. It does still say that it's ready to go and ready to broadcast. We'll leave it up for a minute. We'll see if they come online and say anything about it. But just to give you an idea, I can leave that up and running. But let's see. I'll see if I can show you what we had up there. Let's see. Andrew Murphy. Hey, love your guys' channel. What are they sending into orbit? So that's a good place to start. So let's see. We'll switch over here and I'll show you, and we'll talk. Let's talk about what they were sending into orbit. So it is a missile defense system that is basically it's called the space-based infrared system. That is a missile defense warning system to detect infrared signatures. Let me see if I can pull this up. We'll switch over here to a different screen here. So this is kind of the I don't know how they pronounce it. They've got that acronym SBIRS. It's the space-based infrared system. SBIRS. I don't know. That's just me making things up. But that's the system that they're launching today. So they've launched 3 of these before that cover different areas of the world, and this is a replacement system for our current or our previous missile defense system that I forget what it was called. I had it up here now, but our previous missile defense system was getting phased out. So the first one, the first satellite for this system launched back in 2011. There was a second one that came in 2013. Another one was January of 2017, so pretty much exactly a year ago. And then this is the 4th one that was going to be part of this system here that was going to cover North America. And that was what they were supposed to launch today. So there's going to be a 5th and a 6th one as well that I don't think are coming until like 2022. But yeah, this was a missile defense system here, and I don't know exactly what's going on in this picture here, so I just pulled this from their documentation. But the GEO satellite, this was going to be GEO 4, is what they were going to launch today. So I heard hardware issues. Yes, no, say hi to Becca, please. She's bumped if it doesn't launch. Yeah, well, sorry, Becca. It doesn't look like it's launching today. So according to the Twitter machine here, we can pull it up. Let's see. Let's talk about that scrub here. It doesn't look like they're going to come online with the broadcast, which wouldn't be surprising if they scrubbed it. But we'll go pull up the Twitter machine here, which I can do, and this is what I was pulling up. So a couple people that we follow here on Twitter, but I was just following the Atlas 5 hashtag on Twitter, and yeah, it looks like they scrubbed the launch here. No reschedule time yet. Here you go. Here's the official notice from United Launch Alliance. So it came out 7:07 p.m. Of course, just as I was getting ready to broadcast. They said GEO 4 launch is scrubbed for the day, so it looks like it's not happening. Somebody said in our YouTube comments, got a YouTube comment that it was scrubbed for hardware reasons. I'm not sure if you know. If anybody knows what the hardware reason is, let me know, because I'm just learning this as you are. So Kevin on YouTube says it's defense support program. So yeah, defense support program. I'm pre-launch team, no scrub. I don't know what that means, Kevin. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, according to ULA's Twitter account, it is scrubbed for today. But that's all right. We could still have a little bit of fun. I'll show you, since I'm not going to be able to do a live broadcast tomorrow when it comes online. We can talk about it. So Andrew on Facebook says, when is the launch? Well, the launch window is supposed to start, like Brett says on Facebook. The launch was supposed to start. The window opened at 7:52 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. And then it was going to be a 40-minute launch window. So about right about to 8:30 is when the launch window was. A short launch window, but not instantaneous. Not a huge launch window like we saw with the Delta 4 last week that they put up. But it looks like launch is not happening today. So yeah, scrubbed for today. But here, let's take a look at some of the things that I put together anyways, at least, so that we can see what we're going on. So one of the things that I found kind of interesting for this launch, so here's the Atlas 5 that's launching for today. So you've got the SBIRS GEO Flight 4 spacecraft satellite. That's our payload. That's what's going into orbit. That's going to be up in the nose cone there in our payload fairing. We've got the Centaur upper stage, our booster, and then our SRB, the single rocket or solid rocket booster. We've only got one SRB for this flight, which I found kind of interesting. If anybody knows anything about this, I don't claim to be an expert about this. I just like watching it. So feel free to jump in if you're an expert. But yeah, why only one booster? So from what I was reading and my understanding on the one booster is that it's part of the plan to try to reduce space junk, basically, is they were trying to save enough fuel so that they could deorbit that first stage, or maybe it's the second stage. Now I'm not even sure, the first stage or second stage, but they're basically trying to deorbit it faster. So they're spending a little bit more money to have a little extra fuel, so they can deorbit that, and get rid of some of the space junk. You know, sometimes some of the SpaceX upper stages, they stay in orbit for months or years before the orbit decays and it comes back to Earth and burns up in the atmosphere. But that gives you, a months, or it could be even years, where you got space junk just kind of floating around up there, and it's just a lot you got to track it and avoid it, and there's a lot of space up there, but we've also got a lot of junk up there from over the years. So that's what we were looking at. That's the configuration for today. There are other configurations that the Atlas V launches under. Sometimes they have 2 SRBs, sometimes they have 4 SRBs. So depending on where they're going or how what their orbit needs to be, they can change that. But I do find it interesting that there's only 1 SRB on this, and I'm not a rocket scientist by any means, just a fan. But to me, I don't know, anybody play Kerbal Space Program out there? So I'm a big Kerbal Space Program fan. So I build my little toy rockets in the Kerbal Space Program, launch them into orbit. I can't imagine trying to control a rocket that only had 1 SRB on it, because that's just going to be lopsided. So I don't know how that works. If anybody knows how that works exactly, or how, what has to go into that, definitely let me know. But I just found that interesting. We got 1 SRB on this rocket, which is interesting configuration. So, or they don't have SpaceX tech to recover it. Yeah, it could be as well. So, so let's see. We had a couple other things. I was just going to stall and kill some time, but now we've got nothing to wait for. But I did have some photos of the Atlas V waiting for launch up on the pad there. This was earlier today. Somebody posted this up on the Twitter machine earlier. I think this was, I don't remember if this one here was early this morning or if it was late last night. I believe it was this morning. Let's see, it's in Cape Canaveral, so I believe that's sunrise down in Florida. So this was at Launch Complex 41 that we were launching from down in Florida, or that we are going to launch from. Sounds like they're going to go tomorrow, though, or at least they're going to try again tomorrow. If it's anything like the Delta IV that we had, or that ULA launched was that last week? I believe it was last week. If it's anything like that, there was like 4 or 5 tries at it. I don't know what was going on with that, but it took like 4 or 5 tries, and every time I was going to do a live broadcast for that one as well, but every time I went to go start the live broadcast, they would scrub it, and so it was getting frustrating. So it's true that the launch was scrubbed, Wayne says on YouTube. Yeah, Wayne, it looks like it's scrubbed. So ULA put out a notice on Twitter, 707, said that the launch is scrubbed for today. So no launch today, unfortunately. So we're just kind of hanging out here, looking at some photos of the Atlas V on the launch pad there. That's one that ULA put out today. Yeah, unfortunately, no launch today. They said it, from what I heard, it's a 24-hour scrub, so they will try to go again tomorrow. And I've kind of got, like I said earlier, in case you're just joining us, I just learned this along with everybody else, so I'm kind of checking the Twitter machine, trying to see if there's any updates. Let's see. We do have, mission was scrubbed today due to a ground issue associated with the booster liquid oxygen system. Launch is now planned for Friday, January 19th. Forecast shows a 90% chance of favorable weather for launch. Launch time is 7:48 p.m. Eastern Time. So that is on Twitter. Says, so ULA, I suppose I could probably move this over here. I got a bunch of screens. Let's see, how could we do this? There we go. So this is what I'm looking at here. This is from ULA today, just a few moments ago. Let's see, when was that? 7:32. So that was just 8 minutes ago they put this out. So it says it's again, scrubbed for today, but they are going to try again tomorrow. Looks like right about the same time, 7:48 p.m. I imagine it's probably about the same launch window, 40-minute launch window. They didn't officially say, at least not in this tweet here, but that's what they're looking at. So we'll be going tomorrow is what they're looking at for launch. So that's unfortunate because I was really looking for this is the first one. I want to do this more often. I want to try to live broadcast these launches, do some SpaceX launches, some ULA launches. I mean, unfortunately, this kind of thing is going to happen with rockets. So they get scrubbed all the time. It seems like, especially, I don't know if it's I don't know what's going on, but I know last week ULA had a lot of issues with the Delta IV. Trying to get that off the ground. I think they had 3 or 4 scrubs before they finally got it off on the 4th or 5th try. So I was trying to do that live broadcast and it just it wasn't working out. So it doesn't look like today's is going to work out either. Let's see, what else can I show you? The only other one I had here, I had a nice little shot of the mission patch on the side of the payload fairing there. So here's you see the space-based infrared system. This is for the U.S. Air Force, and it's like I said, it's a missile defense system. So you see the Eagle taking the infrared look at the incoming missiles. Hopefully, we don't have to worry about that. But anyways, that's what this flight was going to be for, but not today. So anyways, yeah, I guess I don't know if I have much else that I can talk about with it. Well, let's see. I guess one thing that I can bring up that I was going to bring up during the launch is, we're a high altitude weather balloon group. What does this have to do with us? Well, one, I love space and I think it's cool. So that's first and foremost. But they also do, as part of every rocket launch, the countdown has them launching 2 weather balloons. To get those upper atmosphere winds. Mostly they're trying to see what the winds are aloft for the rockets when they launch them. So it is a little bit related to what we do. I was looking at the and we can pull this up here on the screen as well. Let's switch that to full screen. Oh, not that full screen, this full screen. This is the typical Atlas V countdown process. So it starts, so you've got a T minus and an L minus. I'm sure most people have probably heard of T minus. Every time you're counting down a rocket, you hear T minus 30, T minus 20, blah, blah, blah. The T minus is the official countdown. The L minus is like the actual clock-based countdown. So the T minus countdown, they have built-in holds. For example, in the Atlas V, and I think it's the same in the Delta IV for ULA, starting about 12, 13 minutes before launch, the countdown clock reads 4 minutes to launch, but there's still about 12, 13, 14 minutes until launch. So the T minus time would say 4 minutes and it would stop, and they would have a planned hold at 4 minutes. And the L minus time would continue to tick along at, if their actual launch time was at 7:45, it would just keep at 7:30 the T minus 4 minutes would stop and it would stay there, and then the L minus would keep ticking down from 15 minutes all the way down to 7:45 when they actually wanted to launch. And eventually they sync up as they get down to launch time. I think it's according to the Space Flight 101 here countdown clock, pretty much right when they hit that T minus 4 minutes is the last planned hold there. So T minus and L minus will both start counting down right at T minus 4 minutes there. But so one of the things I was looking at as part of the countdown here is you've got the planned weather balloon releases here that happen at about 2 hours before the flight. And then there's another one here that's about 5 hours before the flight. So we get 2 weather balloon launches in there to check the upper atmosphere winds. our flights usually last about 2 hours, so those, they do it 2 hours ahead of time. They're trying to gauge as much of the wind conditions as they can, obviously before the balloon bursts and it comes back down. So yeah, that's kind of something interesting that I thought. Oh, here we go. Here's an official notification from ULA here. Here, let me get myself out of the way so you can actually see what they're saying here. So this evening's launch attempt was scrubbed. Live coverage of tomorrow's launch attempt will start at 7:28 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information, ulalaunch.com, or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or call the launch hotline. Does anybody call the launch hotline? I didn't know they had a launch hotline. I'd be interested to know if they had a launch, or if anybody calls that launch hotline. Now I kind of want to know what's on the other end of that launch hotline. Alex on YouTube. Oh, what a pity. I thought I could see the launch here today. Greetings from Spain. Have enthusiast anyways. Well, good to have you, Alex. Sorry that we're not going to have a launch here, but thanks for stopping by. Hopefully conditions might be better tomorrow then. Yeah, hopefully conditions are better. Unfortunately, I can't do a live broadcast tomorrow during that time. But they'll have their live broadcast. You certainly watch along with that. You're just not going to see my smiling face. Let's see. TW Veach. I think that's Becca. I think that's right. Becca's an aerospace engineer that's watching us here on YouTube. Becca, more power to you. I assume it's Becca, but or maybe Becca was your friend. Yeah, aerospace engineer. Well, you probably know a whole lot more about this than I do. I'm not an aerospace engineer. I'm a software engineer, but I definitely don't know all the ins and outs for rocket launches. I'm just a fan and wanted to stream it and talk about it and see what happened. But yeah, looks like we're not happening today. So I'm probably going to cut the. Well, it's actually went on longer than I thought it would. I drove to the Cape to watch. Becca's my friend. I'm Kate. All right, Kate. Well, sorry, Kate. Kate, it's good to have you. Thanks for stopping by. Drove to the Cape to watch. That's awesome. It's too bad that it didn't go. I'd love to see a night launch down at the Cape. Yeah, hopefully you can get there tomorrow. I'm not sure how far you had to drive to get there, but sounds like they're going to try to go tomorrow. Wow, nice to know. Alex says, nice to know. I didn't know that, but that's true. Every rocket mission I've seen, they always say T minus X seconds. Yeah, that's what everybody's got the T minus. I don't really know. Maybe Kate knows. She's the aerospace engineer. I don't know why they do the difference between the T minus and the L minus. I mean, I know they have those holds built in to kind of catch up and take care of any unplanned issues that may come up. But I believe that they have that there. The difference between the T minus and the L minus is, if it's not an instantaneous launch window, then like tonight's was a 40-minute launch window, so they were trying to go at 7:52. But potentially, if they got to that T-4 hold, and something took a little bit longer, or they had to work an issue for could have just had a short issue that maybe took an extra minute or 2 or 5, they could just leave that countdown clock at T-4, and if they weren't going to launch at 7:52 tonight, they could have launched at 8:02 tonight and still kept the same official countdown clock. So yeah, you always hear the T minus countdown number is generally what they share and what they show, and that's because most launches don't have an instantaneous launch window unless you're going into like a polar orbit. Usually, like if you're going to do a polar orbit, a lot of times the launch window can be instantaneous or pretty short, because as the Earth's spinning, you got to hit that exact spot that you want to be in polar orbit on. So yeah, that's the difference there between the T minus and the L minus. You don't usually hear people talk about L minus, but that's because a lot of times that L minus can shift in the launch window. So anyways, I guess that's our broadcast for today. I don't know. I don't have much else planned. I was kind of hoping to bank most of this off of the ULA broadcast and kind of comment on what they had and what they put up, but their broadcast was pretty short. So no. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. More video fashion. Yeah. So. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Unfortunately, no broadcast or no launch tonight. That's unfortunate, but I am going to try to do more of these going forward, because I love watching these launches. I watch them on my own, so I figure if I'm going to watch them on my own, if I'm available, I'm going to try to do some of these commentary videos while we can watch the launch together, and we'll see what they say. We'll talk about it. I'll learn something. You'll learn something. Who knows? Maybe we get some aerospace engineers on here like Kate, and she can teach me something or teach you guys something, because I don't know everything that goes into it and the ins and outs, but all I know is I'm a big space fan, so I can geek out a little bit, and we can geek out together. So yeah, again, just recap, no launch today. They're looking at tomorrow, 7:28 p.m. is when their broadcast starts. I think the launch time was going to be 7:48 p.m. was going to be the launch time tomorrow. So check it out tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do a live broadcast tomorrow, but check it out tomorrow. Should be a cool launch. And if they don't go tomorrow, if it gets scrubbed again and it goes to, I won't be able to do it Saturday either, but if it goes to like Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or something like that, then we might be able to do a live broadcast. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, and we'll see if they launch. And even if they do launch tomorrow and I miss it for the live broadcast, keep an eye out here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, or follow us on Facebook if you're watching this on Facebook. And we'll definitely do another one of these in the future, because I want to get some live commentary going for one of these launches. So anyways, I appreciate you sticking around even though we didn't have a launch, but we'll do this again sometime real soon here. Hopefully we can get something better. I don't know what happened with my intro video. It like I said at the beginning, it started like right in the middle of it. I'll get that sorted out for next time. And for now, we'll hit the outro video, and we'll see you guys all next time. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.